Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my first video leading up to the return of The Walking Dead Season 5, which will be the second half. This is the first review. It's going to be throwback reviews all this week. Going to do 7 of them straight, leading up to the actual premiere for the second half of The Walking Dead Season 5 with Episode 9. This one we're going to be focusing on, couldn't wait to do this one, a throwback on one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead ever for sure. That is from Season 2, Episode 10, 18 Miles Out.
7 Days of Death.
Man, so this is an episode I have not seen for a very long time. At least, I want to say at least maybe 2 years or so till I've actually sat through and watched the whole thing rather than just skip through parts of it. And man, it holds up really well all the way to today. It's such a different feel from where the show is right now to where it was at then, and such a different concentration on different characters and decisions and what they're going to do. So to give you a little bit of a snapshot on what this episode contained, if you guys don't remember, this is the big fight episode between Rick and Shane, which really is concentrated on Randall. So it's a fight over Randall, but it's kind of also a fight for leadership. I want to say more so it's a fight for leadership of the group and for Lori and the baby and Carl between Shane and Rick, between Rick and Shane, than it is actually about the decision with Randall. And it's kind of funny nowadays. People have kind of asked. I had one in the Q&A the other day that was asking kind of about Rick's logic now in the way he behaves now in the show versus then in season 2, and it's crazy different. But Shane he had already kind of assimilated. He had already kind of evolved to understand that they would have to kill Randall. Once in this episode, if you guys don't remember, basically, you've got Randall. He's tied up. They bring him to a spot. Rick, 18 miles out, even past that, finds a location where he wants to leave Randall. And as they're getting ready to walk away, they're leaving him. He lets it go that he knows Maggie. Okay, so of course at that point, we've got this big sense of, oh shit, he knows Herschel, he knows Maggie. He could easily find the farm, and if he gets back to the other guys, as Shane says this, that he was with, they're going to know they're at the farm. They run out of supplies, they're going to show up, out of nowhere at the farm, and they can't allow him to go. Basically, they have no choice. They either keep him as a member of the group, which they obviously don't want to do because he seems like a scumbag. He's shot at Rick previously, if you guys remember earlier on in the season. The first time his group met Rick's group, you had Dave and Tony at the bar, and then you had the big shootout type scene, if you guys remember. So you're in a situation where they basically have to either kill him or let him join. Letting him join doesn't sound ideal, but Rick doesn't want to pull the trigger right away, and you have a big fight, probably the biggest fight in the series so far, ensue between Shane and Rick because it encompasses basically the whole episode. There was also the one with Tyrese and Rick also, but this fight I want to say was even bigger because the whole episode was concentrated on it. Most of it. You also have the other part there, which is actually concentrated on Beth, which is the first kind of episode we had with any focus on her, aside from her just being a background character. And I remember, after watching this again, this is why I hated Beth, because her character is like completely different, now and changed totally in The Walking Dead season 5, from where she was at back in season 2, where she was trying to kill herself in this episode. About half the episode, maybe a little less than half, focused on that, and it just really made me hate Beth a lot because I wanted to see more of this fight. Here you have this fight between Shane and Rick, which is like one of the most exciting parts in all The Walking Dead because things have finally, between them, they've finally collided, so to speak, with regards to letting these things out that they've kind of been holding inside, right, all this time. And, it keeps cutting back to the stuff with Beth and Lori, Andrea, and Maggie. And it's just like, oh, I don't want to see that, So now I remember why I hated Beth so much. It's just it partially is timing interesting because they cut it, back and forth between the two, and I just really wanted to see that fight go through. They needed something, to kind of offset it in the episode, and that's what they went with. So yeah, it is what it is. But the other that is totally overshadowed by what happens with Rick and Shane in this episode. So just to wrap that all up, the best part of that, I would say, with the Beth situation is when Andrea gives Andrea gives Lori a piece of her mind and tells her, that Beth can look forward to growing up to having, a husband, a son, a baby, and a boyfriend, which was good. So I like that kind of joke, as she was kind of poking fun at her for what Lori's done and how she just wasn't going to take any shit from her, and allowed Beth to kind of have some flexibility and actually try to slit her wrist, which was a really dark scene, by the way. I just found it to be very uncomfortable to watch and very dark to see. And then, of course, Beth decides she does want to live because, she finally realizes it at the moment when she's going to do it. So, that's really all I got to say with regards to that stuff. It is what it is. It makes sense for a zombie apocalypse. Not the most interesting thing to see, not the most exciting thing to see, but the fight between Shane and Rick with Randall, oh, man, just awesome, dude. So where should I even start with this? So they head out, right, to drop Randall off, and they stop, and then Rick wants to have a conversation with Shane because he knows there's kind of those, the things are building between the two of them, right? You have the kind of back and forth, and he can kind of see it, and he wants to, I guess, take control of the group. He wants to kind of, because previous to that, at a certain point, Shane was the leader originally. Then Rick kind of came in the picture, and kind of, because Lori's his wife, and you've got Carl and the others, and he's very charismatic, so people get along with him better. And Shane's kind of hot-headed, and he's not as charismatic to have people follow him, right? So you have that kind of conversation between them. They get there. They go to let Randall go. He says that he knows Maggie. Then they come back. And then the fight starts, right? Shane goes to shoot him. Rick hits him. And then you get back and forth to the point where escalation, to the point where he's throwing the big wrench. And, amazing scene there. This episode is directed by Ernest Dickerson, which he is... Man, he's on point. One of the best directors in The Walking Dead. Probably the best. Let's just say it. He's probably the best. When he directs an episode, it's going to look really good. And this one does. When he throws the wrench into the window, smashes the glass, you see the walker hand come up really slowly. And in the reflection of the glass, you see Shane, and he's kind of like this. And it's almost like visual foreshadowing that you see Shane, and he looks like he's a walker, like the way he's moving and stuff, and he's got his head shaved and everything, and, he's got the blood and his mouth's open, and just such little touches that he puts in there, just amazing little touches that after, you can look back and you can see these little things that he put, all these little details. You've got Rick, he hides under the first zombie, and then all the rest chase after Shane, and then he gets the huge zombie comes out, the 6'7" or almost, humongous zombie comes out and chases him, and then he gets the shot through the mouth, which is probably zombie kill of the week for this one, to be honest. In retrospect, that zombie kill was amazing. Even though we did waste some ammo, that's true. And you have the we got to start using our knives more type thing. So that was awesome. You've got Randall, he kills the female zombie with a knife, and then you have Shane, and he gets trapped inside the bus, uses a knife, but basically it gets stuck, and then the zombie, falls down and it pulls the knife out. So he's basically screwed. He's trapped inside the bus. Then you get the decision with Rick whether or not they should save him. At first it doesn't seem like they're going to. Then he ends up actually doing it. Then afterwards they stop, and you have the conversation where he gives him his gun back. It's time for you to come back, after he lets him know that he's basically in charge. This is his show, The Walking Dead. Rick Grimes is the main character, not Shane. This is his show. That's his wife. That's his son, his baby. And even though Shane doesn't want to hear it, and he's kind of angry about it, it seems that he's willing to accept that, because otherwise it doesn't seem like he's probably going to, even if he kills Rick, then what? If he's able to kill Rick, then what's the group going to want to, but anyway, that comes back later on, of course, in the season. But man, just, time for you to come back, gives him the gun, and probably the best usage of a song in all of The Walking Dead, man. I think personally, for me, this is the best theme, montage, whatever, in all The Walking Dead. You've got Wyoke Civilian it starts to play as soon as he gets the gun back. You see him driving back, and Rick is kind of, talking or whatever, and Shane's just like, yeah, sounds good, and he's just kind of looking out the window like that, and you see the walker, kind of the big tall one who's just in the hay, and he's just kind of, by himself out there, symbolizing how Shane feels totally alone in the world. So just, man, what an amazing episode. Of course, that walker was in there earlier on in the episode, and he's actually in the season 5 theme, the intro. You see that same walker in the field. I don't know why they put him in there. I think he's like an artifact, so to speak, in the show. Now, it's smart that I like the fact that they did put him in there, but I'm hoping we might see some kind of flashback to Shane or something this season, even though we probably won't, and I'm not exactly sure why they put him in there. It's still amazing that they put him in the season 5 intro. So that said, that's basically it. That's the end of the episode. The credits roll and everything, and that's it. Seal the deal. One of the best episodes all around of The Walking Dead ever. The only thing taking away from it is the Beth stuff, I'd have to say. So for this one, in terms of a score, I don't remember what I rated it, like 3 years ago, but I'm going to give this one a 9.5. I want to give it like a perfect 10, but then you had the stuff with Beth and everything like that. So that's what I would give it now. Looking back, comparing to everything else we've had since, it's a really special episode, and it's something that you can listen to Wye Oak Civilian even afterwards, and it's kind of like a Shane, a Shane theme, right? Which is really cool. It's like his theme song, at least for me. It represents him as a character, represents where he's at, and it's really cool to listen to. If you're interested, look it up on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube, Wye Oak Civilian, WYE Oak, space Oak, as an oak tree, civilian. Amazing. So I think that's pretty much all I want to say for this throwback. It's an awesome episode, and it's definitely one that it kind of shows how far the characters have come, and it's funny. It's kind of funny to see Rick's logic at this point. Like he wants to take the night. He wants to think about it. He wants to be the one to make the decision too, right? He doesn't want to let Shane do that because you have the struggle of power too. It's not just about the decision, it's also about the struggle for leadership within the group between the two. So if you guys haven't watched 18 Miles Out for a while, you want to go ahead and give it a watch through. It's not a bad episode to check out. It's timeless, I would say. It really represents what The Walking Dead is, where you've got zombies, but it focuses on the characters and on the dynamics. And this one was one of the closest to home type dynamics we've had throughout the whole show with Lori, Rick, and Shane. So amazing episode, man. And if you guys. If you want to write maybe your favorite moments of it, your favorite parts of it in the comments below, go ahead. If you like this throwback review, lots more coming. I'm going to do 6 more. Going to probably do, so this one's 18 Miles Out. We're probably going to do maybe Better Angels, the season 2 finale, because that's amazing, beside the Dying Fire. And then I'm picking certain ones from season 3. Definitely Clear is going to be in there. I'll probably do Welcome to the Tombs again, because I haven't seen that for a while. Maybe do Made to Suffer, and then maybe like the season 4 premiere or something. I haven't decided yet. So write also too what other episodes you want to see me do in these throwback, looking back on an episode from today's standpoint at this point in the series, looking back on some of the best parts of The Walking Dead leading up to the return of Season 5. So day 1, complete. Day 2, we'll probably continue with Better Angels. Yeah, Better Angels tomorrow, guys. Look forward to it if you enjoyed this, because it'll be coming. And if you liked it, please like it. If you want to help support the channel, please share it. Please favorite it. Would appreciate it. And, of course, reviews for the new episodes as they air, same night, predictions, and all the usual kind of stuff. If you're new, you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. And that's it for day 1, guys. See you for day 2 tomorrow. As always, it's Trev, saying peace.